Hi you guys, it's your boy Davion. Welcome to my channel. We are here to talk about the developing story from the late rapper's death. If you guys are interested, then stay tuned. I uploaded a video regarding XXXTentacion. There was a memorial service that was held where his fans came together in memory of him. People left gifts and their own memorabilia and their fan art in tribute of the late rapper's passing. This memorial service was a bit of a shit show. People were diving off of roofs and landing on top of other people. People had to be hospitalized. The rapper's ex-girlfriend came to the service as well, and the things she left behind in tribute of her ex-boyfriend were burnt to crisp by the fans, who were obviously upset because she was a big part of the drama that was pending, and who pressed charges against the rapper for apparent domestic violence. And now apparently she is retracting some of her statements, saying that the assaults never happened, and apparently she wasn't even pregnant, never was pregnant, is not currently pregnant. There was nothing admirable, there was nothing celebratory of the memorial service. You all came and showed y'all ass. It looked like a LA riot out there. It was really distasteful. It was really disgraceful, especially considering that so many of you motherfuckers are claiming that the rapper inspired you guys back into well-being and inspired you guys back into great mental health, and that his music touched y'all and it spoke to y'all, and he spoke so much about depression and suicide and anxiety, and so many of you were comforted. And then you go to this memorial service and act like mental health patients. How much sense does that make? You only prove the point to so many of the people who said that this man was a disgrace to a society, that he was a menace unto society, that his music was violent, and then you as the fan base create a memorial service, attend that memorial service, and hurt people and hurt yourselves to validate those who don't care that this man is dead to begin with. It's really fucking stupid, and y'all really need to get y'all shit together. Now, to go back into my video, I touched on some points that I wanted to elaborate more on in this video, particularly the link between media, art, music, and the way that that impacts culture. I really want us to understand that media, art, and music do not create conditions. The conditions is what creates the media, the art, and the music. We have a consciousness, we have a collective unconscious, and then we have a individual consciousness. And this individual consciousness creates and molds the way that we interact with the things that in return don't necessarily impact us, but reflect back to us the thing that we are projecting onto it. These things are just the symbols and the emblems, but what's the issue is the consciousness behind man. You can take away all the guns in America, that won't keep people from being outwardly violent. If it's not guns, then it will be knives. And if it's not knives, then it will be bats and sticks. And if it's not bats and sticks, then it will be rocks. And if it's not rocks, then people will be strangling people and beating the hell out of each other, or using their cars to run people over, or making homemade bombs in their mom's basement. There is a place for conversation about those things. The heart of the issue is the actual consciousness that is attracted to expressing itself through these ways, because these things are just outlets for a consciousness that wants to come into expression. A lot of us are very grown, we have families, we have jobs, and a lot of us have watched World Star Hip Hop. We've seen fight videos. A lot of us love hip hop and rap music, some of the most ratchet rap and hip hop music. And no matter how much we listen to this music, no matter how much we bump this music, no matter how much space this type of music takes up on our MP3 players, on our cell phones, on our laptops, no amount of listening to ratchet ass music makes any of us healthy, grounded individuals want to go rob a bank, or want to go kill somebody, or want to go steal and mug somebody. Because the consciousness and the ego of everyday, ordinary, healthy persons is regulated. But to somebody who is broken, somebody who has a lot of frustration, somebody who has a lot of self-hate, somebody who has a lot of hate for others, somebody who has a temper issue, that music will be a catalyst. That music will be the thing cheerleading them on to go ahead and execute on that thing they already feel. It's all about the condition of one's own consciousness and the condition of the observer. If the observer is not well, then these external stimulants are going to be problematic. I spoke about education in my last video, but I didn't speak about what type of education. I was more so talking about mental health awareness in District 1 schools and low-income urban schooling systems needs to be something that is integral to the school system itself. These things need to be an integrated part of the curriculum, because these are the kids who are suffering the most from systems of poverty, from systematic oppression, from broken households, single parent households. So many things are missing and lacking within a lot of these kids' life. This statistically is where a lot of the crime and violence is happening. So mental health is something that has to be seriously make more available and accessible to low-income urban communities. My next point that I want to make is for those of you who are just dancing on this man's grave and you're so fucking happy that he died and you're validating his death because apparently he's a woman beater, which now is in question because his baby mama is retracting. I don't understand what's the point then of bringing up his past and pulling all the receipts on how anti-black this man was, or how much of a colorist he was, or how much of an abuser he was, or how much of a homophobe he was. He's dead. For those of you who are happy that he's dead, you've won. He himself, clearly, he might have been somebody that suffered from mental health issues himself. I would think that this guy might have had some undiagnosed mental health issues. I think that there's a productive way that we can have a conversation surrounding his lifestyle, surrounding some of his messages within his music, without necessarily nailing the person to the cross. And a lot of people just felt like, oh, well, he needs to be held accountable and etc. Well, he was being held accountable. He spent most of his youth in and out of jail, in and out of detention centers. He's far from the person who has just gotten away scot-free and who has not had to suffer the consequences and repercussions of his behavior, because his criminal record proves that he was being held accountable by the goddamn law. For those of you who are saying, well, you reap what you sow, we can speak about that too. We all shall reap what we sow. Is there a connection between this rapper's death and his state of consciousness and the way he lived his life? Of course there is. If you perpetuate violence, if you perpetuate, there's going to be equivalent manifestations to that vibration. How many of us are proud of the person that we were at 20? How many of us are proud of the decisions that we made when we weren't as developed? He won't have a chance to look back in retrospect. He won't have a chance to take everything that he's done in his youth and talk about it later in a way that's productive and powerful and uplifting for other young people coming up in the world. And the last video that he did 4 hours prior to his murder was pretty prophetic, because he was ultimately talking about his death and how he would want his fan base to take away from his death, which is take anything good from my music, anything good from my life, and basically make it yours and be a better person, grow to be a better person. He was promoting a sense of positivity and goodness. The fact that within his duality, within his consciousness, there was a intention to make this right. There was a intention to attempt to move forward in a way that was better than the way that he had been living, has to speak volumes. And to me, it does speak volumes. He won't be the only one seeing the grave, bitch. Every last single one of us will see that motherfucker, and there will be people in all of our lives who will feel that we deserve to be there. Guess what? When my gay black ass die, some fucked up percentage of the black community is going to say, fuck that faggot, he deserved to fucking die. Some racist ass right bitch in this world is going to say, fuck that nigga, he deserved to fucking be in the grave. There's going to be some group of motherfuckers who are going to validate why I'm dead, why I'm gone, why God called me home or called me into hell. There's going to be somebody preaching against me, some Christian who say, look at this cursing, pierced out, tattooed, open homosexual. Live in sin, you die in fucking sin. What we can do, like I said, is have a bigger conversation around what produces these type of men. What is in our children and what is in our youth that makes them want to produce this type of media, this type of art, and why is it attracting them? Because there's something going on in them. The issue is not the rappers, the issue is not the artists who put this type of media out. The issue is we are not paying attention to what the attraction is between this type of media and our children and our young people, and we need to be focused on they ass and not these artists, not these politicians, not these motherfuckers who uploading violent ass material. But why is it when I go look at my child's memory on their cell phone, it's nothing but fight fucking videos? Why is it that when I go through my child's MP3 player, all I hear is ratchet ass gutter, bust them down, bust them open, shoot them dead ass music? Fuck addressing Gucci, man. Fuck addressing T.I. Fuck addressing Ice Cube. Bitch, me and my children, me and these young people, tell me what's happening in y'all. What are the circumstances of your lives? What conditions is your heart and your mind in that makes this particular type of media, this particular outlet, something that's of interest to you? That is the question. I beg to differ. Rest in fucking peace. This fan base, if he inspired y'all, y'all motherfuckers need to act like it. For you motherfuckers who are dancing on this man's grave, acting like he deserves to be dead because he was imperfect, you all are fucking sick, and you all will have a grave, and maybe there will be somebody dancing on top of y'all shit when the day comes as well. God bless. Good night. Holla.